Hello and welcome to my fourth video on Visual Basic Programming. In this video, I'll be talking about variables. Variables are storage places in which you can store data for your program. So there's a huge list of things you can put in different types, but I'm only going to be talking about 5 of them today, and here they are. First we have a Boolean, which is either true or false. Then we have a byte, which is equal to 8 bits. And 1 bit is either 0 or 1. So 255 in binary would look like this. And a couple more. There you go. This is 1 byte. And a char, which you see right here, can store up to 65,535 because this is a 16-bit number. So this is another set of these guys. A date is simply the date, obviously, and the string is 0 to 6 million Unicode characters. Unicode is basically all of these characters you see here, plus some additional cool little pictures and also characters that are not supposed to be displayed on the screen. Alright, so now that we have this done, let's get to Visual Studio. So go ahead and open up your Visual Studio and then go to Recent and make sure you open up your solution from last video. If you did not watch the last video, make sure you watch it because it's important to know what I did there. Alright, so we need to create a new solution. So click on the Solution Explorer and right click on Solution YouTube Tutorials, click Add, then New Project. Alright, so what you want to click is Visual Basic, Classic Desktop for 2015, or Windows for 2013. And make sure you have Console Application there. Next, we're going to name this Variables Example. Once you're done, go ahead and click OK. Alright, so now that we're in here, let's zoom in, and then alright, so this is your nice, fresh program. So let's put in some variables. Now, how do you put in a variable? It's very simple. First, you put in dim to say that you're declaring a variable. Then you put in var1 or any other name you wish. I'm going to put in var1 because it's very simple and it's just random pretty much. And as boolean. Then I'm going to put in another variable. Dim var2. See, I'm very creative with these names, as you can see. And we're going to call it as string this time. As you remember, string is basically text. So let's do this hello. Another one, dim var3. var3 as string is equal to string is equal to YouTube. By the way, variable names have to be one word. So what I recommend is if you want something more descriptive than my horrible excuse for naming things, usually what you would do is, let's say you were doing something for a program that has lots of labels and stuff, and you want to do something for a example. Let's say it's called an example label, and you want to put in a name for that. I'd call that str and then example. And you can do something like that. So str is usually what you would put in for string because it's easy. Then of course you'd put it as string blah blah blah. Now this is kind of similar for whenever you name stuff. You need to name stuff descriptively and not like how I did it. I just did it like this because this is an example. So don't follow this when you're doing real things. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is let's display this on a command line. So let's write in console.writeLine. Now remember, we can put strings in here, so we have 2 strings. I'm going to put in the first one, which is var2. Now watch what happens. Right after I fix this so that it doesn't run away right after it's done. So if I run this, it's going to build, and then here we are. I pressed a key. Alright, here we go. No, we don't. let me set a startup project. Make sure you do this. I just forgot about that. That was the last project. If you do it right now, it'll load up the last project. You can see right here on the Solution Explorer that Hello World is right now highlighted or bolded. That's because this is the startup project, and whenever your solution is played, it's going, or debugged, it's going to open up Hello World instead of variables example. Now to fix that, you can go here and you can find set a startup project, or easier yet is you go to project, all the way over here, project, and then go down, down, down until you find set a startup project. Alright, so now that that's done, let's play it. Alright, so check this out. This was our first variable, as you can see right here. Our first variable, or var2, or second variable, was a string, hello. And guess what? It says hello here. Now, I did forget to do something. Notice that the boolean has no value right now. So, usually you'd want to put in a value, and I should have done that. So let's put in true. But mainly here, when there's a variable here, it won't really matter as much, because you're probably going to put in a value in your program itself, which I'm going to show you in a second, but make sure you put in an initial value just in case. So like I put an initial value here. You can change the value at any point. So I can do var2 is equal to hi instead of, make sure you put in the quotations by the way. You can say hi or anything you want. Or yo, I don't care what you put, but I'm going to keep it hello. But as you can see, you can change it at any point. Alright, so now that we have this done, what about our first variable, the true? Now what you can do is you can put it in a conditional statement where you can, which is called an if then else statement also. That's basically saying if something is true, then something's going to happen. Now I'm not going to go through this video because it's way too complicated, but what I can do is I can show you that var1, since it's a boolean value can go in here instead of the true here. So you can put in var1 and it'll still work here. That's mainly what you would use it for, but there are other reasons too. So I'm not gonna go through that. So what else can you do with it? What if you want to write in the word true? So we're gonna put in console.writeLine, blah blah. But inside here, there's supposed to be a string, right? I mean that's what it is. I mean you're writing in text, so it's a string. So what are you going to do? Well, actually, it turns out that you can convert it. So you go to var1 dot, then toString. This converts it to an actual string. You can do this for numbers or anything really. Alright, so if we run it now, and you can see it says true all there right there. It says hello and then true. Alright, so we got our boolean down, we got our var2. So what else do we have left? var3. Well, what can we do with this? Well, let me show you. Let's do console.writeLine. Let's combine hello and YouTube, and let me add in another variable. Let's call it str space as string, and this is equal to, let's put in a space. Now what we can write is hello YouTube. So if we write that in right now, we can do var2 and str space and var3. Now when you run the application, what happens is you get a full phrase right here. Hello YouTube. Now how do we create that? Let's go back and examine the code. We put in var2, which was hello, str space, which was a string, and also var3. Now let me talk about the scope of a variable. Now for this, I'm going to create another method here. So let's call it sub main or method 2. Just random name. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a variable here, var 4. So dim, then var4 as a string. Let's do a string, yes. Or let's do a byte. Yes, we haven't done that yet. So this is equal to, let's do 200. And if you write D, I've heard that, yes, D works, because D means decimal. So that'll work. And now we created an 8-bit number. Next thing we're going to do is, this is declared as a variable, so I want to use it here. So I'm going to write in console.writeLine var4. That's what we created. Alright, what's going on? Why is there a red line? It says var4 is not recognized, or is not declared. It may be inaccessible, I don't care. What is going on? Well, this is the thing. Pretend like var4 is owned by method 2. So you can't just steal it from them. You need to kind of borrow it. Think about it that way. This stuff is an application-wide. This is the scope. The scope of these 4 are application-wide. So you can use it here as well. I can access var3 from here. However, this was declared inside the method, so the scope of this will only be inside here. I cannot call on it from anywhere else. If this was declared, let's say in here, if this was declared there, then it would work. See, as you can see, var4 is now working. It's because it's declared inside the main method itself. However, if I go back to method 2 and access var4, it's not there. It's not going to work. Alright, so that's important to remember. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of this variable since we don't really need it. And get rid of this line as well. And so that's pretty much it for this video. We got through a couple different types of variables, and believe me, you'll get through a bunch of them later on. And so willing to get into more advanced programming. So in the next video, I'll be talking about addition, subtraction, and simple arithmetic operations. And in that, we'll be using the integer variable, and also we might use the byte as well. So, see you next time, and as always, make sure you like and subscribe, and see you next time.